So shrimp squat. Shrimp squat variations are one of my favorite body weight squat variations, although you can use some counterweight at some point. There are multiple progressions depending on your level and depending on your ankle flexibility, because that can quite often be a limiting factor. Although the main key point that I see always people struggle is they're trying to stay vertical as they do squat as opposed to reaching. So think about this. I'm just going to demonstrate the most basic pattern. If I'm going to work with my left leg first, or is my weaker leg first, I'm lifting the opposite leg. The same knee is going directly up and down. But in order to facilitate that, I need to reach forward. So rather than staying upright, I'm not going to be able to go down. I'm reaching forward, leaning forward, knee comes down gently without too much weight, coming back. And again, reaching forward as far as I can, knee comes down gently, come up. So that's the progression number one. Progression number two would be same arm of the leg that goes down, same arm is holding the ankle. Reaching forward, a bit more flexibility required because you're eliminating counterbalancing components. So reaching forward, gently coming down, and then go back. And again, notice how that knee goes in the line with the heel, and then going up, rather than where the foot is. So it's, let's say the working leg, supporting leg is here, this knee is going to come somewhere behind this line, okay? There's also the hardest variation, which I'm going to show here. We hold both hands to the traveling leg and then going up. So one more time. So you don't have any counterbalance apart from your torso, no arms forward. So those are sort of main progressions. I'm gonna now show you a couple of regressions or some other alternative variations that can be helpful. So first one is if you struggle to actually go lower, if you sort of just collapse with the knee down, that if you know your ankles are a limiting factor, you're gonna put something, doesn't need to be this big, just as a reference, something underneath your heel, reaching forward, going down, and then going up. So allowing a bit more, artificially producing more ankle flexibility. Although this was quite high, you can just even have like half of this height, just because right now as I was doing this, it actually puts more demand on your quads and your knee, so be mindful of that. Another progression that I really like is using partial reps. So for example, if you can't reach the floor, then going up, rather than doing that, it's always good to have target. So I'm just going to do other leg now. So using the elevation, for example, this is your level. It's also teaching you not to use too much weight. Gently down and up. Okay, this is a good height. When it gets better, you progress, reduce the height, down and up. Common mistakes, people just collapsing down. Kiss the floor with your knee, okay? Gradually going all the way down on the floor with the weight. Alternatively, you can hold onto something, onto a bar, but remember only using the help when necessary. So if I'm going down, no help, no help, no help. Okay, this is my sticky point. Then using a little bit of help to go down and up. So remember, using the help only when necessary. So going down, no help. And then here, this is my sticky point, using a little bit of support and then going up. Great way to scale it. And the last progression that I was playing up recently, and it's really cool, using counterweight, which surprisingly can feel easier than the full progression. So the way I like to do it, so if I'm doing it on my, let's say, left leg, I'm going to hold, if I'm doing it on my right leg, I'm going to hold it on my counter arm, control arm for balance. You can use a small dumbbell, 2-3 kilos, nothing too crazy, and then going down. Okay? Or, if you prefer, if you're using this variation, then same arm, same leg. So there's always a few variations to play with. So hope this helps. Just remember, leaning forward, reaching forward, knee gently comes down. If you struggle with that, there are more than a few ways to progress this. And I almost forgot just a variation which is even more advanced for people who want more intensity. You're gonna go on slight elevation. Always start with slight elevation, where you're gonna place your working leg, and then the traveling leg is gonna be in deficit, so you're traveling deeper. Okay, so for that one, I would suggest not starting with this progression, but keeping the leg free. So reaching forward, same cues. So now you're increasing the range of motion and then going up. Going down and then all the way up, okay? So notice my knee as I'm doing shrimp squat, good variations. So the yoga blocks are a bit squishy, so it takes me a bit more balance. Make sure always the area which you're working on surface is fairly solid. So reaching forward, notice my center of mass, notice my hips and my torso. I'm actually here rather than here, okay? So above my hip. Going down, reaching with control, and then going up. Always aim for as much control as you can do.